Growing older often brings changes that catch us by surprise. I bet you didn't know that by the time you reach 80 years old, your muscle mass has probably already shrunk by half compared to when you were younger. This staggering fact becomes all the more urgent when we consider the broader picture. This progressive loss of muscle, known as sarcopenia, is a terrible condition that stealthily steals the independence of millions of older adults worldwide. In fact, sarcopenia affects more than 50 million seniors, and falls caused by weak muscles send over 300,000 elderly individuals to the hospital each year. These sobering statistics highlight just how critical it is to understand and combat age-related muscle decline. Yet what follows may sound unbelievable. Here we come to the truly shocking revelation. Research published in the Journal of Physiology has conclusively disproven the notion that severe muscle atrophy is an unavoidable consequence of aging. While most people in their 70s struggle with basic tasks like rising from a chair or climbing stairs, there exists a remarkable subset of individuals who retain the strength, function, and even the physical appearance of someone decades younger. These extraordinary superagers not only maintain full independence well into their 90s, but often outperform people half their age on standardized strength tests, continuing to climb mountains and play sports with vigor that defies their years. If you found this information eye-opening, please like and subscribe for more educational health videos like this one. So, what is the secret that sets these superagers apart? 93% of seniors have no idea which habits can significantly delay or even reverse age-related muscle loss. Yet researchers at the Mayo Clinic have identified these powerful practices. Most doctors never share this single most important habit that can help older patients regain lost muscle mass well into their 70s and 80s. What's more, many common medical recommendations actually contradict what science has proven to be crucial for preserving strength as we grow older. Keep reading, because the very first habit revealed here is likely something you're doing incorrectly every single day. This all-too-typical mistake accelerates muscle atrophy by activating genes that would otherwise lie dormant. Correcting this one behavior can mean the difference between enjoying your golden years on your own or needing assistance from others. Before we dive into the details, don't forget to get this video liked and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Let's explore the 7 daily habits, backed by rigorous research, that allow some 80-year-olds to feel and move like they're 40 again. 1. Harnessing hormetic stress. One of the most paradoxical yet potent habits embraced by superagers is the deliberate use of hormetic stress, specific, controlled stressors that, when applied briefly, trigger profound protective and regenerative responses in the body. Hormesis describes the phenomenon in which substances or conditions that are toxic or harmful at high doses become beneficial in small, intermittent exposures. In plain terms, what doesn't kill you often makes you stronger, particularly when it comes to muscle health. Temperature variation stands out as the primary hormetic stressor. Brief cold exposure, such as ending showers with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water or taking short cold plunges, activates brown fat, enhances mitochondrial biogenesis, the formation of new cellular powerhouses, and triggers the release of adiponectin, a hormone that shields muscle tissue from breakdown. Conversely, heat exposure through regular sauna or hot tub sessions stimulates heat shock proteins, which safeguard and repair muscle cells. A Finnish study revealed that individuals who used the sauna 4 to 7 times weekly experienced 40% less muscle loss over a decade compared to non-users. The second hormetic stressor is intermittent fasting, where superagers restrict their eating to an 8 to 10-hour window each day. This subtle caloric stress stimulates autophagy, the body's internal cleanup process, and bolsters mitochondrial function in muscle fibers by up to 10% in as little as 12 weeks, according to research from the Salk Institute. The third stressor, overcoming isometrics, involves pushing or pulling against an immovable object at maximum effort for 5 to 10 seconds. These brief, powerful contractions send robust anabolic signals to muscle cells, maintaining their size and activity without overloading the joints. Crucially, These stressors must be intermittent, short bursts followed by ample recovery. When administered properly, they activate longevity genes such as FOXO and sirtuins, which are critical for sustaining muscle mass with age. Start gradually, building tolerance so you can harness the benefits of gentle, beneficial stress without overwhelming your system. 2. Perfecting protein timing. Although many seniors focus on the total amount of protein they consume, research indicates that protein timing may be even more critical for combating age-related muscle loss. As we age, our bodies experience anabolic resistance, a reduced efficiency in using dietary protein to stimulate muscle synthesis. A pivotal study in the Journal of Nutrition demonstrated that instead of loading most protein into a single meal, often dinner, seniors should evenly distribute 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein across every meal. This strategy capitalizes on the 3 to 4 hour window following each meal when muscles are primed for protein synthesis. Most older adults inadvertently miss these windows by concentrating their protein intake at supper, leaving muscles undernourished at other times. By contrast, superagers start their day with protein-rich breakfasts. Think eggs, Greek yogurt, or protein smoothies, instead of low-protein options like cereal or toast. They continue this pattern at lunch and dinner with lean meats, fish, dairy, or plant-based proteins such as lentils and beans. This simple adjustment can boost muscle protein synthesis by up to 25%, and a 12-week University of Texas study reported average muscle gains of 1.2 pounds in seniors who adopted this habit, without changing any other aspect of their lifestyle. If you want your muscles to grow stronger or simply avoid wasting away, the timing of your protein intake is as important as the amount. Make each meal count to keep your muscles nourished and resilient throughout the day. 3. Optimizing vitamin D. Vitamin D, often dubbed the muscle vitamin, plays a profound role in muscle strength and function, yet over 80% of older adults are deficient. While vitamin D is well known for its role in bone health, Harvard University researchers have shown that it also activates genes integral to muscle building and maintenance. Muscle cells contain vitamin D receptors that, when stimulated, trigger processes essential for synthesizing and preserving muscle tissue. A landmark study in JAMA Internal Medicine found that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels, defined as above 40 nanograms per milliliter, exhibited 25% greater muscle strength, along with markedly improved reaction time, coordination, and balance compared to those with levels below 20. These advantages directly translate into a lower risk of falls and greater independence. Sunlight remains a natural vitamin D source, but as we age, our skin's capacity to produce it declines by 50% between age 20 and 65. Dietary sources, fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy help, but most seniors require supplementation. Although the general guideline recommends 600 IU per day, evidence suggests that 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily is necessary for older adults to reach and maintain optimal levels. Always base supplementation on blood test results and consult your physician. One important caveat: ensure adequate vitamin K2 intake, found in fermented foods and certain animal products, when taking higher doses of vitamin D. Vitamin K2 directs calcium to the bones rather than the arteries, preventing unwanted arterial calcification. Pairing D with K2 promotes both muscle and cardiovascular health, making this synergy a cornerstone of superagers' daily routines. 4. Managing inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation, or inflammaging, is a key driver of muscle deterioration in older adults. When inflammation levels rise, muscle protein breaks down faster than it can be replaced, and inflammatory cytokines blunt the anabolic signals that normally promote muscle growth in response to exercise and protein intake. A Seminole Tufts University study revealed that seniors with the highest inflammation markers lost muscle mass at 3 times the rate of those with the lowest markers. Superagers employ multiple daily strategies to keep inflammation at bay. First, they prioritize consistent, high-quality sleep by going to bed at the same time each night and sleeping in a completely dark room. Sleep deprivation can increase inflammatory cytokines by up to 40%, accelerating muscle atrophy. Second, they nurture their gut health, a critical regulator of systemic inflammation, by consuming over 30 different plant foods per week, along with fermented items like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut that supply natural probiotics and diverse fibers. Third, these individuals tailor their exercise intensity, favoring moderate daily movement interspersed with brief, intense intervals once or twice a week, rather than constant high-intensity workouts that can exacerbate inflammation. Finally, they regularly include anti-inflammatory nutrients in their diet, such as 2 to 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish or supplements, curcumin from turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods like berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. The University of California found that age-related shifts in gut bacteria can raise inflammation markers by 29% in just 12 weeks, making these dietary and lifestyle countermeasures essential. An easy blood test for high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP, helps track inflammation. While the average senior may have HSCRP levels 3 to 5 times higher, superagers typically keep theirs below 1 milligrams per liter, ensuring their muscles receive the building blocks they need rather than being torn down by chronic inflammation. 5. Ensuring micronutrient sufficiency. Although macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats receive most of the attention in dietary recommendations, superagers recognize that specific micronutrients are equally vital for muscle synthesis and function. Without these essential cofactors, no amount of protein or exercise can fully prevent muscle loss. University of Vermont researchers have aptly termed magnesium the forgotten electrolyte for muscle health. This mineral is involved in over 300 enzyme reactions critical for muscle function, yet over 70% of older adults are deficient. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with adequate magnesium levels had 30% stronger grip strength and significantly higher physical performance than those with even mildly low levels. Superagers address this gap by supplementing with bioavailable forms like magnesium glycinate or threonate and by consuming magnesium-rich foods daily, dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and even dark chocolate. Next in their micronutrient arsenal is creatine, a compound often associated with bodybuilders but equally powerful for older adults. A 2015 McMaster University study demonstrated that creatine supplementation, 3 to 5 grams per day, combined with strength training, notably improved muscle mass, strength, and even cognitive function in seniors by enhancing muscle cell energy production and hydration. Superagers also supplement with methylated B12, methylcobalamin, the active form of vitamin B12, because stomach acid production, and thus natural absorption, declines with age. Common medications like proton pump inhibitors and metformin further deplete B12, affecting both neuronal function and muscle energy generation. Finally, they ensure adequate trace minerals, zinc, selenium, and chromium, to facilitate protein synthesis and insulin sensitivity, which are essential for transporting nutrients into muscle tissue. A comprehensive Tufts University study linked optimal levels of these trace minerals to a 22% increase in muscle mass maintenance over 5 years. Rather than relying on a generic multivitamin, superagers obtain micronutrient testing to identify their unique deficiencies and tailor supplementation accordingly, saving money and maximizing effectiveness by addressing real biochemical needs. 6. Preserving neuromuscular connections. Habit number 2 focuses on preserving the crucial neuromuscular connections, the synapses between nerves and muscle fibers that transmit the signals prompting muscle contraction. As muscles atrophy, these neuromuscular junctions degenerate, impairing the brain's ability to recruit muscle fibers, regardless of protein intake or exercise effort. Research from the University of Michigan shows that exceptionally strong superagers maintain far healthier neuromuscular connections than the average senior, and they achieve this through targeted practices. First, they engage in coordination and skill-based movements, tai chi, dancing, tennis, ping pong, that require precise execution of predetermined patterns. These activities strengthen the neural pathways between the brain and muscles more effectively than simple strength training or walking, preserving neuromuscular junctions by 31% in older adults who practice them twice weekly. Second, they incorporate supplements and compounds that support nerve health, such as alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl-L-carnitine, which protect against oxidative damage at the nerve-muscle interface. Certain forms of vitamin B1, benfotiamine and huperzine, derived from Chinese club moss, boost acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter responsible for muscle activation. Third, they practice breathing techniques like box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, that stimulate the vagus nerve, enhancing neuromuscular transmission. Just 5 minutes a day can increase neural activation of muscles by up to 15%. Perhaps most intriguingly, superagers engage in cognitive challenges, puzzles, brain games, and learning new skills that reinforce the shared neural pathways between the brain and muscles. A Columbia University study found that regular mental exercise directly benefited neuromuscular health, helping older adults recruit muscle fibers more efficiently. 7. Progressive resistance training. Finally, the single most powerful habit identified by Tufts University experts is a tailored program of progressive resistance exercise, what they describe as the most potent anti-aging intervention ever discovered. Most seniors miss the crucial nuance that muscles operate on a use-it-or-lose-it principle with a critical caveat. You must gradually increase the challenge. Walking, water aerobics, or lifting the same light weights week after week won't suffice to maintain muscle mass beyond age 60. Superagers follow programs that emphasize intensity over duration. For example, 2 weeks of high-intensity resistance training performed to the point of transient muscle failure, where you cannot complete another repetition with proper form, produces more significant gains than 5 weeks of moderate-intensity workouts. This high-intensity stimulus triggers protein synthesis for up to 72 hours post-exercise through robust anabolic signaling. They focus on compound movements, squats, deadlifts, rows, pushes, pulls, that engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously, carefully modified to accommodate joint health and mobility. These multi-joint exercises elicit stronger hormonal responses than isolation movements like bicep curls or leg extensions. Superagers employ progressive overload, consistently increasing the difficulty. More weight, more reps, slower eccentric, lowering phases so their muscles never adapt to a static load. Emphasizing the eccentric portion of each lift helps strengthen muscles under load while minimizing joint stress. Remarkably, a 12-week University of Alabama study found that older adults who undertook a progressive resistance program increased their strength by 35% and gained an average of 3.3 pounds of muscle, alongside improvements in cognitive function, bone density, and blood glucose control. The greatest mistake retirees make is believing resistance exercise is too risky or outdated. In reality, neglecting resistance training accelerates muscle loss, fragility, and fall risk. Superagers commit to just 2 30-minute sessions per week, working with a qualified trainer to ensure proper form and intensity progression, and they reap profound benefits in health span and independence. These are the 7 research-backed daily habits that account for the remarkable muscular strength displayed by some 80-year-olds. Each practice, hormetic stress, protein timing, vitamin D optimization, inflammation management, micronutrient sufficiency, neuromuscular preservation, and progressive resistance training, contributes to a comprehensive strategy for restoring and retaining muscle strength well into advanced age. Pick one habit you can implement today, master it, and gradually incorporate the others. The investment you make now in building strength and independence will pay dividends for years to come. It's time to speak up. Are you already engaging in any of these 7 habits? Which one surprised you the most? Do you know an elderly person whose strength exceeds expectations for their age? Leave a comment below and share your experiences. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share this article with friends and family, and thank you for your time.